Hey everyone, good of you to join us on this Saturday afternoon. I'm Rena 9, and we begin with growing backlash facing Donald Trump one day after he went on an early morning Twitter tirade. The tweet started around 3:20 a.m. That was Friday, leaving what some might call Trump's worst impulses on full display for all. He posted unfounded smears against former Miss Universe Alicia Machado, calling her disgusting and a con. Trump has since defended his rant, saying, "For those few people knocking me for tweeting at 3 o'clock in the morning, at least you know I'll be there, awake, to answer the call." All comments that allow Clinton to continue to hammer the GOP nominee over his treatment of women. And she has, responding to Trump's tweet storm with this post of her own and raising that issue again at a rally in Florida on Friday.
I mean, really, who gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning to engage in a Twitter attack against a former Miss Universe? Really, why does he do things like that? I mean, his latest Twitter meltdown is unhinged, even for him. It proves yet again that he is temperamentally unfit to be president and commander-in-chief.
Joining me now from Washington, roll call columnist Jon Allen. And here on set with me is CBSN political contributor and Republican strategist Leslie Sanchez. Okay, Leslie, I want to kick this off with you here on set. Sure. I want to ask you, this has become a week-long story. How much of a liability is this for Donald Trump?
It's increasingly becoming a larger one. This is a point in the especially after the first debate, that voter sentiment starts to solidify. It's calcifying. So you're not going to see a lot of movement left and right in terms of who they're going to vote for. They're just deciding kind of engagement. They're reinforcing, it's the reinforcement time, their ideas about the candidate. So to continue laboring about an issue that is really not germane to the presidential election itself, to the candidate's ability to move forward. Hillary Clinton has every opportunity to say this is temperament, but he should stay focused, as I think we've seen some of the critics on the Republican Party say, on the issues, on the contrast, and preparing for the next debate.
John, we've seen Clinton continue to needle him both on Twitter and even during a rally on Friday. So do you think she succeeded in proving that he can, beyond a question, be baited?
Yes, I think she succeeded in proving that, and I think more to the point, Donald Trump proved that he's incapable of being disciplined about anything. I mean, here's a guy who was so easily baited into a trap that was set for him long before the debate actually started. Then Hillary Clinton raises the former Miss Universe in the debate, and then predictably Donald Trump goes after her, and boom, there are the Clinton folks ready to push this story out. What's amazing here is that we are now talking about Miss Universe instead of the first presidential debate several days later because Donald Trump couldn't figure out how to not use his Twitter account at 3 o'clock in the morning.
You know, I've got to tell you, I was really surprised by former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich. He's been an outspoken Trump supporter. He actually commented on Trump's behavior. I found this really interesting. Let's listen.
He's got to become much more disciplined. For a while there, I thought he had really turned a corner. This last week, I think, has been, frankly, a lost week, a week which has hurt him, which has shaken his own supporters. And you can't tweet at 3 o'clock in the morning, period. There's no excuse ever, not if you're going to be president of the United States. So he's really got to decide and I think it's very important to understand this. If he's got to be himself, then he may well not win. If he's willing to grow into the role of president, then he may win. In fact, I think he will win.
Leslie, I'm going to ask you, I mean, are insiders there, his strategists, are they looking to get him back on message, or is this some sort of collective strategy that we just are not aware of?
I really wish that was the case, but that's not. I think from the folks I've spoken to, and I know John has his own reporting, there is definitely frustration, not only internally within the campaign, but establishment Republicans like Speaker Gingrich. What's interesting about that is he says he's losing support from the base, right? And that is basically a signal, and unfortunately, these are almost direct signals to the candidate. What the campaign surrogates will tell you is that Donald Trump makes movements and shifts in direction when he feels the heat, when he sees polling numbers decline. It has to be something catastrophic like that for him to make a change in direction. He saw that before when a lot of conservatives told him he needed to kind of learn the role of a presidential nominee. He stepped in the line. He started using scripted speeches and teleprompters and being more organized and not getting off on these tangents. And we're right back to where we started. So it's definitely frustrating, but what lies ahead? it's still unpredictable, and that may be a reason people keep watching.
That's so fascinating. John, meanwhile, we know Clinton, we've heard the whispers from inside the campaign. Her biggest challenge is still enthusiasm. What more does she need to do to bump up that number to where she needs to be?
I think one of the things she's doing, we've seen already a little bit this week, is getting a bunch of the surrogates out on the campaign trail, the sort of all-star team, if you will. President Barack Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, Senator Sanders, and Senator Elizabeth Warren. I think, trying to generate enthusiasm among Democrats. Those are people who are looked to by some of the younger Democrats as leaders of the party, leaders of movements, and I think that's helpful to her. She's not a particularly inspiring speaker on the stump, so I'm not sure that you're going to see a big course correction from her that creates enthusiasm among younger voters. I think it's mostly going to be anti-Trump and whatever she can pick up from some of these surrogates.
Okay, Jon Allen in Washington, Leslie Sanchez here in New York. Thank you both for joining us.
Take care, Rena.